Hello everyone, how very good of you to join once more to Manor Lords. Welcome back to, Sleepy Hollow, to once again another year coming to an end. Year 2 it is. Settlement is looking, well, quite cute at this point. It's even cozy, right, with beautiful forests and autumn creeping in. Now we are still busy though, right? Even though year 2 is coming to an end, you might think winter time, relax time. Of course not. Even though we are well stocked with the food and with the fuel, right? We have no big problem in this area. I still need to prepare more things, and that is finally the farming. And the farming is a bit more complicated than it might seem at first. It's not just simply planting fields anywhere. So first of all, what we need to start with is looking at fertility. Now, Sleepy Hollow is looking, or is situated right on a very fertile area already, but of course we can't get rid of the city anymore, of the village, so we'll have to look elsewhere, right? And yeah, it is over here that we have a very beautiful, also lush and green area, and also here. In the middle, not so much. So the middle might actually be a nice location for a farmhouse, and left and right we have then those fields. Let's also have a look. This is the road that goes to the granary right away, and there is another road here that we already have, right? So I would probably like to start with connecting those roads with each other that we have then over here to finish this block, and then from this road on we continue then through this area where we want to have some farming. Let's just see that we can get this one all the way to the other side. There you go. And then we can actually have a look at that. Yeah, perfect. And as we can see, the farmhouse right here would be perfect. It's actually a really big building, right, isn't it? And the farmhouse, though, we are going to make a bit over here, because I would still like to have other buildings next to it then as well. So let's start with the farmhouse. There you go, perfect. And then we can have a windmill as well, and I would actually also like to move my lumber industry then over here. Let's just check it out there. 26 lumber we have in stock, 35 in total. It's a bit problematic moving the logging camp because we would lose that storage there. So instead of moving the logging camp, I'm just going to build it once more, and we delete the old one then. And I would like to have my logging camp then somewhere here, and I think it's also fitting, right? It fits together. You have your lumber and your farming industry over here then, a bit further away from the bustle and hustle of the normal city life. This time around, I would also like to make a smaller forester hut then right away. So we're going to make a little road here, and along this road we are going to have then the woodcutter lodge for firewood as well, right? Somewhere here. And I would also like to have then a forester hut. And as you can see, this is once again going to be quite busy construction-wise, but it's going to make sense, I think. And yeah, with that, we have then the inner village ring forming and the outer ring forming. Now for the outer ring, we have then the farming that we need to prepare. And in this case here, yeah, we will use the road system to separate those fields. First though, we need to make sure that this is actually all getting constructed. And boy, I just love getting in close here. Having a look at daily life, there's already the first logs coming over, the builders are coming over. How many people do we have? 5 unassigned. That means there's going to be lots of workforce ready to finish all of this. And the cool thing about this is, yeah, well, we could even have the logging camp then helping out as well. So I'm going to reassign those guys here. The forager hut is going to stay here, and that's just going to be fine, right? But I still have at least one more. Also, and that's pretty nifty, the first roof tiles are coming in thanks to my clay furnace that we have over here. And also, once again, you can just watch them all day. Some of those animations are not really finished yet, like, yeah, the clay tiles. I think there's still something missing. It's still nicely detailed, everything, right? So there is probably at some point going to be more details, more objects than separated. Yeah, but here we are producing now also then the roof tiles that we're going to need for major upgrades soon. And once again, we can also speed this whole process up and just watch them how they build it on this fine autumn day. finally everything's finished. The weather turns sour, but that's okay. And with that, we have now a few jobs that we need to assign. So first of all, this logging camp here is actually now deactivated. I'm a bit hesitant to actually really deactivate it for the moment because I don't want to get rid of the timber there. And that means we're probably just going to keep it online there for a little while longer. And then, yeah, the farmhouse is also coming along. So let's actually assign all of this. And we're going to assign, of course, those guys here with the right work area already attached to it. So for the working area, we're going to use this one here now. So that's a bit of cutting down. And I'm going to make sure that we're not going too far to the wild animals and to the berry deposits. The forester hut that we're also activating right now is going to be in the same area. Planting new trees. And of course the woodcutter is doing the same thing. After all is set and done, yeah, people just resume their normal work again. The forester hut is now going to planting. He's looking for planting spot right now, Thomas. And planting then a tree, and it's taking then a bit of time, of course, for one of these to grow. But overall, I hope the balance is there. His whole family is helping out there too, right? So we got 3 people now planting trees and 3 people cutting them down. Not quite right, because I also have the woodcutter here, but the woodcutter actually doesn't consume that many trees as a normal logging camp, right? So I'm just going to keep 1 for the logging and 3 for the firewood, because that's what we need. I've actually moved the one from here now, right? So we're no longer cutting down trees here, because I think this would create a very strange empty spot. I mean, could be also okay, I guess, but we're just going to see that later. Now the real deal is, of course, the farmhouse. There we have it now in all its glory. And Sleepy Hollow finally has it, though it's not finished yet, of course, because it needs fields and it needs families working this. And we can have quite a lot of families for this. First of all, let's have ourselves this road here that probably will then make a connection here with the main road that we already have. And then we can actually use roads to separate those fields as well. Let's just check it out. We should be able then to see a nice fertility area here. Perfect. And we can then basically plant those trees now just along the road, right? Like this major field here that we can have in this area. Unfortunately, there's still some bugs involved here, so if I click just here, I can build it. If I click here, I cannot build it anymore. And whenever I snap it to the road, unfortunately, I cannot build this field. However, if it's just one step beside it here, without clipping, we can actually build it. So this is that. I think we can actually make it so that we have perhaps another road that goes away from this over, right? And then we can actually make this field within my own road without having to rely on that. No, that is also not working for some strange reasons. I have no idea why, and roads are a bit finicky yet, so just be aware of that. Let's get rid of this road again. This is easy though, right? And then we can just place this field again, and we'll probably will just make it, yeah, I guess with a few points. So there's then the first one, and then we can perhaps also have a second one here. Just along the area of fertility. There you go. And then we hopefully can snap it just along the road here. Nope, this is not possible again. This would be possible, right? Yeah. And with that, we have then our field set up just here, also along this beautiful curved road. Looks very natural. I love the look of it. And with that, we can now use then these fields for farming. Now, it's important, we cannot use the same crop on the same field all the time. We are going to implement a crop rotation for this one. And we're going to see right away what thing is actually possible here and what not. So the best one would be wheat, right? So for the next year, we probably can go ahead with wheat. And then we're probably going to keep it fallow, right? So 1 year without anything. And then we're going with barley again, or barley then, right? So this is the rotation for that one. We can have then also another one that starts with barley. And then we're going to have wheat, and then we're going to keep it fallow. So there's always at least per year, at least wheat on one field, at least barley on another field, because those are my most important crops. We can also mix it up then to flax as well. Flax for the clothing once we need that. This one here actually starts fallow, right? And then let's just check it out. We have fallow, we have wheat, This is then barley, and then we have wheat. And so we have now a crop rotation of all these 3 fields. At least one is always fallow, one always has wheat, and one always has barley. And with that out of the way, we just need to assign now some people to the farmhouse, and let's start with 3, right? And those 3 families, it's going to be quite a lot, it's actually 9 people in total. These guys are now going then to work on these fields depending on the season. Can hopefully do is build a smaller road here. Yeah, very nice. Just around that field then. Oh, this is looking a bit strange here though. And the same thing then here perhaps. Right, so that we have at least one road going away from it, so it looks a bit more natural then as well. And it doesn't take long for the barley field actually to be worked on the first. And those guys are now in October starting to at least plow the field. Now, while the farming is on its way and coming along for next year, we should be set. What I would like to do next is my next artisans, right? And we've already done the cobbler shop over here, working now fantastically, providing us with lots and lots of shoes. And in this case here, next up on the line, we have now where's my shoes? There it is, right? Shoes. And in this case here, next up on the list is, yeah, bows. Some of you have been already saying this about the archers. We have the spear militia, right? So these are more like tanks that have a spear and a shield so they can stand in the front. And to properly protect me, I would also need to have some ranged units. This makes the most sense. And let's go ahead and assign the next artisans. In this case here, it's the Boyer's workshop, and that enables the production of war bows. And with that, we have this. It's, I think, just costing me planks and wood that we will need then out of this production, but we'll just see and check it out ourselves. Might also be some flax or something. I have to think about that. Now, this is on its way as well. We have converted at this point all of these plots here to level 2. Fantastic. There's still a high population growth thanks to my latest burgages that we have over here, so they're working out fine now too. And yeah, in this case here, we can continue now with another winter. So we should be well prepared. We have the berries, the eggs, some honey, firewood, lots of firewood in. Even though it already always is stuck at 3 months, right? It should be more than this. We have a lot of firewood at this point. And also no unassigned people anymore. I wanted to go with another storehouse unit. Nope, storehouse is also fine. We might be thinking about another upgrade here. And this upgrade in the storehouse is massive, right? Right now we have a generic storage of 250, and with this upgrade it goes up to 2500, so 10 times higher with just one upgrade. I'm going ahead with this. Of course, we have the resources, so let's start this. For the granary, it's the same, right? Even though we're not stuffed on food that much. So yeah, nothing we can do about this. I have no unassigned people right now. Most of them are now also working in the farm, plowing by hand right now. So the game specifically also tells me we probably should upgrade to a plowing station at some point. For this, however, I will need another development point. Another family moves in. Very good. They can actually work as builders right away. And we're on our way with huge steps towards 100 population. And in this case, this hopefully should yield me then some archers that we can have as well. Yeah, firewood, firewood. Having those 3 in it, I might think about another firewood station on the other side after all. And the Fletcher shop has been finished. And already producing, that was quick, right? Producing now warbows in addition. The game really doesn't tell me how much it is producing though, so it's just producing, right? It's just going ahead now. It's probably, it doesn't even tell me what the input is. So I might, yeah, with bows, of course, I think it's just wood, so planks. right? And they're making then the warbows out of that. It's working like that, however. 3 warbows we have now, and with that we can really start then the archer militia unit. Let's go ahead and create it, right? And now, whenever we have a bow, people are getting assigned to this. 36 is the maximum, the same with the spear militia. We have 75 people right now, and yeah, most of these guys will then work in the militia. So we'll have 2 full battalions available then for this. For any kind of onslaught that we might face at some point. Meanwhile, finally also the sun is shining through again. Some nice upgrades over here with the storehouse, getting this one bigger. And also, since we have the timber, I might consider also my next burgages. And for this I would like to go ahead with that area, so that the central area of Sleepy Hollow is getting tight, right? Or, yeah. Oh, look at that. We can make this really tight. We can also reduce the plot density, right? All the way up to only having like 1 house here and a huge backyard. We can also increase the density. This is an amazing feature, by the way, right? And we can increase the density all the way to the top with minimal backyards and also just houses that next to each other. Let's actually, since this is really the center, right? Let's actually keep this a high density, but not too high. So in this case here, this should be fine. That's 12 logs we consume with this. And let's build them. This construction is going to take quite some time anyway. Meanwhile, this one is finally coming together. The most important thing here, because with that we'll have a massive increase to our storage. Right, 2 ox are already carrying everything they can as well. Also, I think this is a smaller visual bug here. We do have actually 2 ox right now, and we can see them transporting. It, however, only states Erhard here. Yeah, I haven't found the other ox anywhere situated at the moment. We do have it though, right? We can also check it up here, livestock. And we have 2 oxen working for us at the moment. Right, new family starts to move in. And now all burgage plots are occupied. So it's just a nice coincidence, or a nice timing actually, that we go ahead with this one too. And there it is. Finally a large storehouse as well. To transport really everything that we want to have then stored. And yeah, this is going to last for quite some time, I think. 140 regional wealth we have. Yeah, some of you really have also suggested once more to spam everything with chicken eggs, because, for example, other YouTubers are going in all the way with chicken coop. I know they're a bit overpowered. I would not like to spam my whole time with chicken coops, though. We might have 2 more, right? But I definitely don't want to exploit the systems there too much. I know they're producing a lot of food. We continue onwards with my burgages over here. How's it, by the way, looking with my farms at this point on the other side over here? Yeah, those fields, they're coming along, right? So we're still in the plowing process. This actually can happen through winter. This one's fully plowed, and I think they will then start the sowing process in spring. And since we have 1 more unassigned person, I might consider adding it to the farmhouse as well. But let's build those burgages here quickly. And there it is. The sowing process has started. It's November, but I guess that's how it works. And with that, barley here and wheat here. So once this is fully sowed, we can see then also the progress. And harvest season is always in September. I love this tree so much. I'm definitely not getting rid of it for just increased density. We can, however, still use, yeah, some shrine here next to it, for example, to further add to this park that we have. A bit of water, another shrine, right? Unfortunately, that's all the ornaments that we have right now. So we do have also erased shrubbery. This is something I don't want to do, but a shrine we can still add. And so it happens. It's Christmas season once more in Manor Lords. Sleepy Hollow is celebrating. December it is. A bit of snow is coming in this time around. It's not the same every year, what I've noticed so far. Sometimes you have snow very late, sometimes very early. Also a nice detail. Now, since we have a bunch of unassigned families right now, I would like to start on my next project or my next income. That's the mining pit. So here we have 200 iron deposits. Let's actually assign 2 families to that to speed it up. One is still there for construction, and those 2 will now chop down, cut down, mine me some iron that we can then store also in my storehouse. And with this, we can then theoretically also start my next projects, which is then also, for example, the armor and the weaponsmith, right? Or the blacksmith. Both of them would be possible then to produce me weapons and spears as well. For this, we need another smaller industry though, which is the bloomery then as well, which needs to be refueled on top of everything. But since the town is growing, we have then the workforce for this. Of course, yeah, we always should look out for food as well. Right now, we're fine. However, we're going to need those berries for something else other than eating soon. So in this case, we need to find more sources of food, and the farming will just be fantastic for this next year, hopefully. Exposed goods in the generic storehouse. What? Where? Oh, over here. Some supplies, some firewood is actually stored here still. Might have a look at my large storehouse. And transporting, no, those 3 are actually transporting quite a bit right now. Going even all the way to the mining deposit over there. And once again, bandits also stole some of my goods. But we are already preparing for battle, so let them get the bit of iron ore. Also, by now, the sheep farm has grown to 4 out of 5 for the pasture, right? So that's lots of sheep that we have in here now. Els and Beatrix are new, and with that we're close to the limit now, and also fully producing a lot of wool. The thing is, you can also then export sheep that you have in excess, right, and make even some money with that, right? But in this case right now, let's just keep the sheep growing still, 1 more spot, and then we might also think about the upgrading of my pasture. Now, another interesting thing is right now with the platter shop, it's producing way too many bows for me, right? So we have already 51 war bows, 52 now. I still don't exactly know what it consumes. By the look of it, planks and timber is also just going up very steeply right now. So there is, yeah, it's planks obviously, right? So it's getting in planks, but we're producing a lot of planks. I think with my saw pit, we're only using 1 family so far too. We might actually go ahead with 2 families working the saw pit then at some point, because it's just a lot of planks that we need for construction and also now for crafting. But for now, it's actually pretty fine. I just love how they, by the way, take their goods then to the storage. So many details everywhere. I mean, you can see the game is not quite there yet, but holy cow, it's coming along. And with that, I would like to open up a new business opportunity for us. Now, shoes, we have 39, but I'm not sure I'm going to export shoes, right? Because leather is always a very rare good. But what we can actually sell is war bows, right? We have the weapons over here, and there's the war bows, and we can open up this new trade route here for us now. So that would be establish a trade route. 60 coin it costs me, so quite a bit actually, but I think that investment will be worth it. So let's open up the bows, and with that we can now go ahead and export war bows until we have, let's say, 15 as a desired surplus. So whenever we will build up a new army, so this army is almost full now, right? There's 6 more bows we can use. Actually, recruits are missing for this one. That means we will have always a surplus of war bows. We can then sell this one, and for a nice profit too, right? It's one of the best export prices we can achieve here with the 5. The other weapons are actually higher on the cost, but export prices in general are very low anyway. Roof tiles would be 8, but we are very limited with the amount of rooftops we have because clay is finite and we don't have any clay anymore, so that's that anyway. For exporting, yeah, that's probably my go-to right now. The rest I would rather not export. We could also export some wool since we have that in surplus right now. And that's it. And yeah, we're still growing very quickly, of course, 93 days. We still have 2 more burger plots available. I would still like to go ahead and already plan a few more. First of all, we can have some here by the sheep farm once again, right? So this is where we already have those. There is this area here just beside my industry zone, which is fine because industry zones usually should not be separated from the town in medieval times. So in this case here, we can have another plot. And this is a bit further outside. I might actually reduce the density here a bit to go with, yeah, those 3 plots in addition that we have. And then I might also think about some single plots as well that we have then a bit further outside. So we might have another one here for the solitary soul that would like to live in here. It's just one really that I'm going to put in here. And also over here by the crossroads then, connecting this one to the plots that we have here. This is really high density, holy cow. Might think about 3 plots that we have then, right, together with the backyards, just close to that road there, so that we expand in those directions there as well a bit, all around the market, of course. So far so good. Another year is coming to an end, or is ended actually, a new year has dawned already. We're looking very good with food and fuel right now. Of course, the raider attack is near, so we need to really finally prepare for this, probably with another regiment or battalion. And also we are reaching then the 100 population and farming, of course. And also on top of that, I would really like to start with the manor house now. That's our big castle that we can build, a modular several steps building that also enables us then whole new levels of gameplay mechanics like policies, taxation, and mercenaries. Stay tuned!